All right. All right. Here goes nothing. Cosby said that he wanted to see how I handle various scenes. So he suggested that I pretended to be drunk. When did a pregnant woman ever appear to be drunk on the Cosby Show? Probably never, but I went with it. Now let me explain this. I was a top model during the 70s, a period when drugs flowed at parties and photo shoots like bottled water at a health spa. I had my fun and experimented with my fair share of mood enhancers. I knew by the second sip of the drink Cosby had given me that I had been drugged, and drugged good. Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here of Can Tell Her This. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're like every other American in the world right now, you have been glued to your local news network, just being enamored with the type of like negative information that we've been getting, and it's nothing uncommon, unfortunately, on a news network. But I wanted to, I guess, just talk to you guys about something that's been really hitting home for me, quite honestly. A lot of you may be aware of the allegations that's kind of going on right now with Bill Cosby, and the sexual abuse allegations that he's currently under fire for. There has been several women that have come forward stating that this man, this celebrity, this well-trusted, well-loved, well-liked individual did, in my mind, one of the worst things that you could ever do to a woman. One of the worst things you could ever do to a human being. Let's just start there. And I felt like compelled as a woman to just say, when is this going to stop? Now, I could go on and talk about, and I will, you know, I've been watching, and primarily the most famous face that we've seen thus far has been Janice Dickinson. I hope that I'm saying her name right. She has come forward because she has like the loud, I don't want to say the loudest voice, but she has the largest platform in a sense that she's well known, when coming out and saying that Bill Cosby sexually abused her, drugged and sexually abused her, allegedly. And then several other women and women before her actually came forward saying that in the early 60s, 70s, and now in the 80s with Beverly Johnson, that he sexually, that he drugged her and attempted, from what she's saying from her passage through Vanity Fair, that she believed that he was going to attempt to sexually abuse her. I have to be honest, as a fan of Bill Cosby and his work, it was definitely hard for me to believe at first that this individual could commit such heinous acts on women. But I'm sorry, and I might ruffle feathers with this, but I really don't care, because here's the deal. As a woman who has in her life been sexually abused, I can tell you that you don't forget. You don't forget second by second, moment by moment, that encounter that you have with that individual when it's not welcomed. It's etched in your mind for the rest of your life. And quite honestly, I guess I would have said, like, well, I really don't know, like, you know, if it was one woman, maybe even two. We're in double digits here, people. Double digits of each woman having very similar stories to one another of being drugged by someone that they admired and loved and was a fan of. It is no secret that if you have been sexually abused, chances are if you have been abused by someone that was close to you, someone that you felt safe with, because that individual was able to use the relationship that they have with you and basically manipulate you into believing that, you know, it was okay to do that with that individual when it really wasn't. So, for example, with the Cosby situation, a lot of these women were comfortable with him because of the man that he portrayed in front of the screen. Was a lovable, likable guy, funny, charismatic. In his day, he was handsome, a very handsome man. Okay, I guess, you know, that's to each his own, but, you know, I saw early pictures of him and I was like, he wasn't bad on the eyes. But, you know, a charismatic man. I probably already said funny, but as a woman, you know, funny is good for us. You know, we like that. That's kind of like a, you know, a notch in the belt. So I can understand why they felt a sense of comfort when it came to him. Also, being able to tell them or allude to the fact that maybe that he could help them with their career. You know, being a model, being a struggling actress, having an A-lister say to you, you know, I can get you a couple of gigs. I mean, you're inclined to find out more about the situation, you know? So you might go over to a home, you might meet somewhere, whatever the case, however they met up with Mr. Cosby. It just wasn't right. So just like many people, you know, in the evening, you know, internet surfing, I'm on Facebook and I'm scrolling down and I see an article from Vanity Fair, and I kind of just really scrolled past it. I read it very quickly. I saw the picture and you know, it said, you know, keywords, Cosby, you know, allegation, and I saw this woman and I'm like, was that Beverly Johnson? And then, you know, I just kind of let it be, you know, and I just moved on with my day. But I was thinking to myself, like, if that's Beverly Johnson, he's what I would like to call fucked. And I say that because here is a woman who, just as Cosby, has done and trailblazed for not only models, but for African American women, for our community, for our race, has trailblazed and has created a platform for us, has represented us in a amazing way, represented our culture, represented our community in a positive way. And so for this woman to come forward and say, yes, he did that to me too, for me, and me personally, that was the nail in the coffin. So now, here it is, you know, all of these stories that we're getting, and I'm saying to myself, you know, it's really unfortunate that this is not an uncommon story. I can't tell you how many women, my closest friends, I won't mention any names, women that I love, admire, that are strong in their life, have been through this type of abuse, have been through it to the point where it's like common knowledge. It's almost like you sit down with a group of women, and if you get close enough with that woman, there does come a time where you have that conversation like, well, you know, when I was such and such, you know, I was molested, or something happened, or XYZ, and then that woman goes and says, me too. And then you sit there and you kind of think to yourself, you know what? I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one that this happened to. When no, this is a common thing, and that is the problem. That is the problem. And that is why honestly, I had the courage to make this video, because there are so many women out there that don't have that platform, that don't have that don't have the platform of celebrity, you know, and or the support for people to say, one, I believe you, I sympathize with you, I'm here for you, let's work on how to heal you. To be sexually abused, right? It goes so much further than just of the physical act. And you know, you think that you have worked through that situation when really you just suppressed it, you've bottled it, you've tucked it far away, but not enough. Like, because it comes out in other things, rather that be you know, when you do find a mate that you love, you might have issues of sexual intimacy. You might, or just being intimate at all. You might not be able to embrace a physical touch. You might not be able to let a man hold you or receive love because you don't understand what it is, because somebody took that away from you. They took away the period of your life where you were able to learn that a physical touch is a good thing. You know, especially from somebody that you love. So, and you deal with that unless you get help early on, unless you get help, consistent help, you will deal with that for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Please know that this video is for the woman that, or the girl, the little girl that feels like they don't have a voice. These women waited decades. Let's just let that sink in. To have to go through life, decades of harboring a serious situation and feeling alone, feeling like nobody would believe them because of the man that did it to them. And while us as victims may not be celebrities, a lot of the men that have done this to us, we hold them in that same regard. There's somebody that we love. We don't want anything bad or malicious to happen to them. At times, if not always, we feel guilty. We feel guilty about what's happened to us, and in a sense, it's our fault. Which is why a lot of women don't step forward and say something. Because we create in our minds the story that somehow I led this individual to do this to me. That's not true. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. It's not your fault. You didn't deserve it. You don't deserve it. If you are going through that right now, you don't deserve it. Nobody, male, female, anybody that's sexually abused, you don't deserve it. And there are advocates here for you that are here for you if you need them. In closing, I made this video. It was kind of like, you know, let's get the conversation going about this Bill Cosby situation. You know, let's talk about that. And I still say let's talk about that. Let's get the conversation going about that. But more deeper than that, let's get the conversation going about the countless women that don't have a voice. If you feel like you're that woman and you've been through that, tell your story, because I can guarantee you there is a woman watching this video that's going through it right now, or has gone through it and has not healed, and needs to have the power of numbers behind her to tell her it's okay for you to let yourself free. I can honestly say I know why those women were able to come out and feel a little bit more confident when they did step out, because they were not alone. It's a battle that they're not fighting alone. And that's what we need. That's what we need. Any type of victim, you need to know that you're not the only one that's going through it. So I encourage you to live in your truth. I encourage you to speak your truth and tell your story. And as I say that, I think to myself, like, if I'm gonna call someone to tell their story, then I better be ready to tell mine, which is probably one of the scariest things that I will ever do in my life. But if it means that I can heal from it, then so be it. If it means that you can heal from it, then I did exactly what I was supposed to do, and that is enough. I want you guys to remain encouraged. I'm a beauty vlogger. I'm a beauty vlogger. So it's almost like part of what I do is created to mask things. But that's not life. That's not reality. And who am I to fake the funk, right? Like, who am I to fake the funk and say that everything is perfect? It's not. I want you guys to remain encouraged and know that you are not alone in whatever it is that you are going through, have been through. I love you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I can muster up the courage to even upload this video. I really didn't want to cry. You know, it's like, but it's time for things like this to stop, and for women to be whole. I'll catch you guys in my next video. I love you so much for watching. Peace out.